everyone. This is Brother Benson, and I'm joined with my friend Miguda. How are you doing?
I'm good, bro. How are you doing over there?
I'm doing fine. How is your weekend?
My weekend has been good.
Hmm.
We have had a very good weekend, and yesterday we had a soccer between Gabon and Harambee Stars.
And yeah,
It extended our weekend very well.
and I saw the head of state together with the Right Honorable Prime Minister was I attended the match, and there are a few things that I picked from that event from yesterday. And before maybe I ask you, did you get an opportunity to attend the event or to go and be among the fans?
I never got an opportunity. We were
Yes.
represented very well, but we
Oh,
were represented very well by our fellow youths and even our politicians. We
all
will
right.
have another match on weekend between Gor Mahia and Mashemeji,
So this
and
one
we will
you're
also attend that one.
so this
Yeah,
the
that one I'm
goal.
going to attend.
So what makes you not to attend the one for the national team, but you attend the one for Gor and Shemeji, and the FC?
Of course, you understand, we are being encouraged now. We should subscribe to our local league, and we should always ensure that we encourage them and also we support them. I believe by attending, I'll be when I purchase a ticket, I'll be
Yes.
promoting either God or the derby. But this
Uh,
one for international one or
uh-huh,
national one,
uh-huh.
this one, yeah, Kenya is a bit, Harambee Stars is a bit ahead of our local leagues. So by purchasing ticket to support Harambee Stars, in my view, we also need other people because you saw politicians were present, majority of them. It means that for the weekend they will be absent. So that is why I go and support our local league.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, and for taking your time to be here. As I told you, there are a few things that I picked from the event yesterday, even though I was not able to attend it physically, but I was watching it through social media, especially the TV. You would get the live coverage from it. Now, one of the issues that I picked was the chants that the fans were chanting about the president, where they were saying that Ruto must go in the pitch. That was one thing that I picked. Another big incidents that is now the conversation that is going on, the attack on Peter Salasia. That is also something that I pick. What can you say about the chance and what happened to Honorable Peter Salasia?
Yesterday, we tried to discuss it with Marco Vura. I would
Yeah.
like to be brief
Yes.
about the chance.
Hmm.
Already, when we woke up yesterday very early in the morning, we were aware that we are going to have the national game between the Gabon people. And
Hmm.
now we were very ready to go and cheer our ambassadors.
Yeah.
Little did we know that people were charged
Hmm.
naturally, organically,
Yeah.
that the only thing that could ring into their mind was the slogan "Ruto must go."
Yes.
So we got into our internet, then we found people chanting "Ruto must go, Ruto must go."
Yeah.
Therefore, people agreed unanimously that if we score one goal, we will say Ruto must go. Two goals, Ruto must go. So as we score many goals, that's how we chant Ruto must go. Little did we know that Ruto will be present in that match because we saw him going to Naivasha for the WRC, but
Yes.
we also saw him come to because the reason why we never expected him into the stadium.
Yeah.
Even the parking, the presidential entrance parking was
Mhm.
filled with public vehicles, and they have to call other people to remove their vehicles from the park so that the full motorcade can come into the stadium. So I believe that there is what I said yesterday is that there is this wave of revolution
Mhm.
hovering into the country, and people are yearning for that revolution.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there is this resistant force from the status quo. They are
Mhm.
resisting revolution to an
Yeah.
extent that they have come and merged their political parties for the sake of them to survive politically. That's what we understand about what happened yesterday, that there is a wave of revolution from the people, but it's a resistant force from status quo trying to resist this revolution. And we believe that one day it shall happen. The issue of Salasia, just
Yes.
to finish
Mhm,
my first point,
mhm,
Salasia also, we understand that, and we have condemned
mhm,
with the highest term possible that Salasia, other than Salasia as personal level, he is a member of parliament,
yeah.
he is an honorable member, he
Mhm,
was elected by the people. He was
mhm,
elected, he was never selected, he was never appointed.
yeah.
And he is a lawmaker in the National Assembly. And
Yes.
if he's a lawmaker in the National Assembly, we need to give him a lot of dignity
Mhm,
as a lawmaker in the National Assembly. And
mhm,
also, the fact that he is an honorable member, we say that even if Mr. Salasa is in the opposition team,
yeah. Mhm,
when you want to articulate or you want to critique government, you need to be objective and it doesn't need to go personal. You need to
mhm,
focus on the issues. Because if you go to personal, the people or the supporters of Odinga
yeah.
might not like it the way you are addressing their leader. Because even if Raila is wrong, he's having a followers, he's having a base. So even if Ruto is wrong, he's having a base. So whenever you're trying to critique the person or the government, do not
Mhm,
focus too much on the personal. Don't go too personal. Just do your politics clean. And
mhm,
but we are not encouraging violence. We don't want violence, and it's very unfortunate for that lawmaker. And we expect that next time when he's doing his politics, he should focus on the issue-based politics. At the same time, the people who are used to beat Salasia, they should not beat Salasia because when you saw the people, they were youth. So a youth fighting a fellow youth, which is wrong. And even if he
okay.
was not a youth, he should not be beaten.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Miguda. Let me also take this opportunity to welcome our good friend, Makobura. Makobura, how are you doing, sir? And I'm also seeing Duari on the comment section. Welcome to the show. Makobura, how are you doing, sir?
Okay, good evening. I'm doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've just joined.
Yeah, okay.
I'm here to give my opinion.
Okay, thank you so much. As you know very well that the president will be going to central Kenya next month, and this is believed to be going to be his maiden visit, especially 5 months after divorcing or disagreeing with Rigathi Gachagua, and which ended up Rigathi being impeached. So we also are going to give our opinion on what do we expect, especially from Mount Kenya, where the president is going to visit next month, whereby it is believed that right now Mount Kenya is not uh, liking the president as previously known in the year 2022 when the president was campaigning. But before we go to that, Miguda has just mentioned to me that yesterday you had a discussion about what happened to Salasia, MP for Mumias East. And maybe if you can give your thought, because it's now taking a different turn. I'm seeing uh, quite number of especially young people from Western are saying, okay, if you want war, less we are prepared for that. It's kind of like taking a different turn. What is your take on it before we go into the main discussion about looking at what will happen when President visit Mount Kenya?
Okay, thank you. The story of Salasia. Yeah, I also watched the same. He had gone to also watch the game, but unfortunately he was attacked
Mm-hmm.
by goons.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, goons are people who are not. Sometimes they're either paid,
Mm-hmm.
or sometimes they're people who just have their own intentions.
Yeah.
So I don't want to comment so much about that.
Yes.
But again, Salazar is still young in politics,
Mm-hmm.
so you should try to understand how politics is played, especially in the city. You
Mm-hmm.
know, Raila has a huge number of supporters within the city, and most of them are goons, and they are known.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when you come out to just speak negatively about Raila, of course,
Yeah.
without him even knowing,
Mm-hmm.
Raila has so many members of parliament around, and for politicians to survive within Nairobi, most of them have to just engage and put around some goons.
Mhm.
I think that is what was happening. Those goons were just reminding the member of parliament of Mumias East
Yeah.
that as much as he has these issues with Raila Amolo Odinga, he
Mhm.
should then do it with some maybe respect. Because if you had the people who are beating him, they were saying that he needs to respect Baba. And Baba is also in government. So anything that
But oh, okay.
he needs within the government, and whether it's goons, of course, there's nothing that would be. I mean, the member of parliament will not get any justice because you understand the kind of politics which is being played currently. But what I can say is that the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya is very clear.
Mhm.
Everyone has a right to give their opinion and to also have their political stance.
Yes.
Whether the member of parliament is having a different opinion or a different stand,
Yeah.
that should not mean or should, I mean, supporters of Raila should not deny him a chance to just walk freely and also enjoy his life. Because if they are doing so, that means that they're not respecting the constitution.
Okay, now I want to ask you, especially like with us, like we who are in the platforms, like where we discuss issues whereby sometimes we do point out or criticize on some of the decision that has been made, or what the decision maybe might have been taken by the president, and we feel like as a channel we tend to discuss and say that, okay, we criticize the president, we say that Mr. President, here or in this issue you did not make a right decision, because that is, you're criticizing him. And the same time, we've also done with the right honorable prime minister, we've done with so many politicians. How safe are we?
We are not safe because even yesterday, there was a follower who was just engaging us at the comment section,
Yeah.
and I think the politics of tribalism has gotten us to a point where sometimes we simply tend to forget where we've come from as a country,
Mm-hmm.
and we are not even aware of where we are going.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many things which we've gone through. If you remember the 2007, 2008,
Mm-hmm.
and again towards the general elections, and immediately after the general elections, we've always seen people clash.
Yeah.
And all these are brought by the tribal thinking or tribal stance.
Yeah.
Just like you said, I've also seen, I was going through social media and I can see so many people are trying to, talk about what happened yesterday in a tribal trajectory. And this
Mm-hmm.
is one thing which is not really going to solve the problem that we are having as a country.
Yeah.
And what I can say is that when the goons attacked, for example, Mheshimiwa Salasia, I don't think it is right for people to come out and say that, these goons were Luos, and so they're being attacked. They're saying that, that Siji Awa Jaluo, because that is what was trending on social media. That
Mm-hmm.
is wrong, because if the goons attacked that Mheshimiwa,
Yeah.
it could be that some of them are not Luos, and if they are Luos, there is no any Luo would come out to do such a thing in their rightful mind. So if they wanted to criticize, I think it is right to just single out the people who did that and talk directly to them. Trying to target a whole community, these are things which raises the emotions of the people. And when we get to that point, the issue of tribalism then comes in. Part of what we've been doing in this media is we are trying to preach about unity. We are trying to anybody who's coming up with tribal mind or thinking, we try to just tell them what is right.
Okay.
And what I've also noticed is that the issue of tribalism is being expanded, or it's being played more by the political class.
Yeah.
Because you find that most time, you see, for example, what happened to Salasia.
Yes.
This is not a community versus a community, or tribe versus a tribe.
Yeah.
This is the member of parliament. He was being attacked, I think, based on maybe his political stand, of which is not right. But coming out to say that, you were attacked by a community is not something that can really solve anything.
Okay, thank you so much. But before I come to Miguda, in Kiswahili tunasema, unajua, kwa Kiswahili tunasema hivi, kwamba naweza sema kwamba utajiri wa nchi ni vijana, kwa sababu nchi ambayo labda iko na vijana ambao labda hawatakuwa na nia njema kwa watu, ama nia njema kwa nchi, ambao watetii nchi yao, hata kama utakuwa na utajiri wa fedha, lakini hamtakuwa vyema, kwa sababu vijana ndio wanaangaliwa kama watakuwa viongozi wa kesho, ama ni watakuwa viongozi ambao watakuwa wanaendeleza ukombozi wa nchi kwa njia mbalimbali. So ukipata kwamba mavijana ambao wanakuja wanakuwa na vitu kama gasi ya kupigana, si utajiri. Na hiyo pia inataka kwamba wanasiasa wanafaa waongelee. Kama ingekuwa jambo njema, wangekashifu wale ambao wanasiasa mbalimbali ambao wako kwa nyadhifa mbalimbali, wangefaa wakashifu haya mambo. Tuome kama vyombe vya usalama, labda tunaomba mtu ameshikwa kwa kufanya kosa kama hiyo. Lakini hii jambo imekuwa ni jambo ambalo inarudiana kila wakati, ni jambo ambalo lipo sana sana, inalingana na pali ambapo uko kisiasa, unaona.
Yeah.
So itabidi it is
I wanted to say something on that. I think the question we should ask ourselves at this point is, why is it that in every political or in any gathering, we've been seeing goons, and more of these goons, they are youths. If you remember, when the president was moving around Nairobi, there were goons that were following him, and you see how they terrorized the people. I think more of these problems are created by the political class. And part of the reasons are, of course, the issues to do with unemployment.
Yeah.
Youths have gone to school, but there are no jobs. So, when they meet these politicians, and, these people offer them any amount, they have no option to decline. And so it is the political class who needs to then maybe try to solve the issue of unemployment.
Yeah.
So that our goons wakitafutwa hawatapatikana. They've created the environment, and so they have to solve it kivyao, or else, just like we saw in Nyeri, there were goons that were waiting for the former deputy president.
Yes.
When the president was moving around, there were goons following him, and they were terrorizing people. What happened, of course, in Nyayo Stadium, there were goons, and again in Naivasha, there were goons that were also coming up. So this is something that if the political class are not going to look into it, ni wao wataumia, because
okay, all right, go ahead.
Part of the reason why this group is coming up is because of the political class. They are using these young people or young youths just to ensure that their political moves, they've achieved their political moves.
Okay, thank you so much. Miguda, thank you so much for waiting. My question to Makobura that I asked Makobura, how safe are we, especially with us who are in the space of social media and in the media, that like what we are doing, whereby we analyze what is taking place and call out on places that we feel the right move was not made. How safe are we, especially when you want to go and come to such national gatherings?
Of course, no one is safe, including Mr. President. Therefore, I believe that security is a personal initiative. That whenever, like we have even seen people like, for instance, Obina, whenever they are moving, they are always with their securities. Therefore, like in our case, like in our media, You know, we are not pro anybody.
Yeah.
So if you want to attend Raila's rally, they might be, they will say, okay, this man is from Brother Benson Media. They criticize us, then you'll be beaten. If you go to Wamunyoro's rally, you can be beaten. So what you do is just a matter of being strategic and also a matter of how you are dealing with them. That's why yesterday I said that it depends on how you relate with the supporters. That is why I told Makubura that with me, I have no problem attending those rallies. But I don't know how Makubura, because it all depends. You know, Brother Benson, those are some of the people, we can point them out by names. We know them. That so and so participate in these things. So what I want to say as a people, what we should ensure.
Migoda, let me ask you, we are in the media space, yeah? Yeah, and our work is to give information to the public, yeah. What if now, if you go to some of the rallies, either by president or by the right honorable prime minister or by Wamunyoro, then you are there to give the information. How can you now, or you need us to hire those security?
Of course, you cannot ignore matters of security. Let me tell you, Brother Benson, matter of security you can never ignore.
Yeah.
And that's why even during the time people were being abducted, I used to ask even our fellow that even if you are in town, make sure that you are 2 or 3, so that when you are abducted, someone can take photos and share on social media. You don't need to risk, if you know matter of security, that you are never safe. If you go to the rally, what I know they will tell you, they will ask that today you are here, kindly go and air that we were having the crowd and people are agreeing with that. That's how sometimes they're friendly. You know, the crowd is usually friendly to the media. But they will just request you that go and report that we are winning the people. Don't go and report opposite. But there's no much harm to the media, unlike the politicians. That has happened.
All right. Thank you so much, gentlemen. That was about the Salasia and what we need to do as youths. I think, like, as always, I've always said here, that at times we need to liberate our mind, because when you fight for the politicians, when they get those positions, they don't think about you. You know, who fights best, sometimes you don't even find yourself on the table. The people who will be on the table enjoying that luxurious or will be on that the table for king, you're not going to be there, you know. And there's also a video that is going around on the social media of the ghetto president, and I don't know how true that video is, because but he's saying, giving instruction. I don't know when was it taken, is it yesterday or, but like if it does the truth, that we need to look into it. Today, let's now go to the main discussion of the day. We know it is 5 months ever since the president have not visited Mount Kenya, and this month, next month, which is coming in a few days, the president is going to visit Mount Kenya, and is going to be there for 7 days. Remember, this is coming at a time when Rigathi Gachagua was impeached, and based on what boss Shiloi said one day, that when you tell me to impeach Gachagua, I will do that. So in other words, it means maybe the president might have involved himself impeaching Rigathi Gachagua. We are also having an issue of Justice J.B. Muturi, who said he's not going to attend the president's rally, or even is not going to attend the cabinet meeting that will be taking place in Sagana. That is also there. We also have the issue of Didi Nyoro, especially when it comes to the committees, you know, and there's so many things that are going on, and president is going to this place. And we also have the issue of violence, about of hired people coming to disrupt, or not to disrupt, but to create chaos. And we know how it goes. And how is the president going to tackle the slippery which is in Mount Kenya? And if you look at the other side, the members of the parliament who are allied to president are promising there are a lot of goodies that the president is bringing to the Mount Kenya, including the projects of Mau Mau Road that they've been complaining about for quite some time now. So, Miguda, what do you see the president is going to do in a way that is going to resonate with the people of Mount Kenya?
It has been long. We know that it has taken time before Mr. President visit Mount Kenya. But there could be reasons, because you understand earlier, there was that push and pull in the government.
Yeah.
And one of them was just a way through impeachment into the executive, the deputy president. And there was some MPs within the UDA who also opposed to the impeachment. And that can lead to the reasons why he has delay before going to Mount Kenya, because there have been some reasons. He has not delayed. The delayance of Mr. President is not coincidence. It has happened very well articulated, calculated, and strategically planned. But now it has been long before he has gone to Mount Kenya, and by having the time of next month, it's like he has timed them that maybe the people might have cooled down from the things that have happened before.
Yeah.
Because you understand, absent make the heart to grow fonder. Maybe some people, of course, yes, some fans around might miss him in action. But what I can say with certainty is that he's going to meet a resistant crowd. The crowd in Mount Kenya is not friendly to Mr. President. And even if they attend those rallies, they just go there to listen to Mr. President. But also Mr. President will avoid politics. He will not do too much politics. He will not do too much attack to the opponent, the way he used to do when he was in Nyanza attacking the Gigi of tribalism, attacking the people of Mount Kenya to be tribal. He would like to just concentrate on the development tour, the way he has just said that he's going to relaunch even the Mau Mau roads.
Yeah.
The public also want him to explain to them why he made a decision to impeach Rigathi Gachagua. They want to know why there's a problem between him and JB Muturi. So those are the things that Mr. President, as a politician, he might avoid to ensure that he get the crowd, and also he can engage them through development tour, but he will not delve into politics or attacks to the leaders. That I can assure you. And also, it is slippery, the way you have said, because the resistant crowd can also be influenced by other politicians because they understand the mountain. Remember during the time when Uhuru went to Migori, when there was a resistance from Nyanza province, the Nyanza province, Uhuru, they threw shoes to Uhuru Kenyatta, and he was the head of the state because of that resistance. And if you find those who organize it, they were local MCS. So someone can just organize that. Whenever there's a president, you can heckle the president. People are even being paid. But I can assure you the ground, because you have seen of late, Wamunyoro has gone underground. He has been missing in action. You don't know what the guy is planning underground. Maybe he has really prepared for Mr. President in that region. And Mr. President can feel that resistance. That I can assure you, brother, that it is not going to be a walk in the park. And you will realize that there is that mood of resistance from the mountain.
Okay, thank you so much. And Makobura, this is coming to you. Remember the other day, Deputy President talked about the political will about the people of Mount Kenya. And from his talking or from his interview, you could feel like now Mount Kenya is under aim and is giving them the roadmap on how the politics is going to be. And bearing in mind that the president has really tried his level best, especially to gain access to Mount Kenya, one by appointing the likes of Kabogo, Lee Kinyanjui, we had who else? So many of them, and even the other time, people thought he secured the services of Maiden Njenga, but still there was no impact. Especially like if you look at the appointment of Kabogo and Lee, I don't think like it has made so much impact into the government or even at the central Kenya. But now president is going over here rumorsly, like I think like there are a lot of mobilization that is going on, and quite a number of these, a lot of money that is being given out. That is rumorsly, we are not confirmed this, but it's something that when you go to social media. How is this one going to be? Is giving out money and even the appointments that the president has made is going to give him that welcoming the way he used to get it in 2022?
Okay. What I know is that it is not going to be a walk in the park for
Yeah.
Mr. President
Mhm.
as he plans to tour the Mount Kenya region. But again, since the fallout between him and the Wamunyoro, it has not been easy for him to go there because the perception of the people of Mount Kenya, based on the preaching of the gospel that has been preached to them by Gachagua and his allies, is that Ruto do not love the people of Mount Kenya and that he's against progressive leaders from the Mount Kenya region. Just the other day, you saw the likes of Ndindi Nyoro were removed from very uh, prestigious positions within the government of William Samoei Ruto. That of course, those are part of the things which are not going to make it easy for him because the people on the ground are asking themselves that they formed this government and they were told towards the general election that the more votes you bring, the more positions you'll get. And the truth of the matter is that they brought more votes, and so they expect to get more benefits from this government. But instead, what they've been seeing is people being demoted, people being removed from, committees within the parliament. Some of them are being removed from the CS positions. And again, even those who are currently in the government, the likes of JB, they're having a different, view of how the government is being run.
Yeah.
They're saying that, the government is not doing well, and that the government is not really pro people, that the government is only listening to few top political class without, solving the issues or all those things that they had promised the people of Kenya.
Mhm.
And so this is not going well
Yes.
with the people on the ground, especially those in the Mount Kenya region, because what they are seeing, and according to what they've received from their political leaders, is that the president does not have a goodwill, and he's someone who cannot be trusted. He's someone who cannot solve the problems which the people are going through.
Mhm.
And again, as per the campaign, if you remember, more of the conversation that the president and the KK government, they were talking about vile watainua wale watu wa mama wa mboga,
Mhm.
watu wa biashara. And more of these people are coming from the Mount Kenya region. What we've seen sometimes back, for example,
Yes.
if you remember what was happening within Nyamakima,
Yes.
and Gachagua was trying to, alikuwa anajaribu kuwatetea, so these people are saying that, this government do not really care about the Mount Kenya region, and especially the people that he had mentioned that, would be part of this government. So what I can say is that if he's planning to go there, they have to use a lot of money to bribe the youths.
Yeah.
So that they can, find the ground not very hostile. But again, he's going there to launch some projects. The question that the people of that region would ask is the many projects that he had commissioned and also launched.
Yeah.
What are the progress? There's so many installed projects by there in Mount Kenya region. If you remember, towards when Uru was almost exiting, he started so many projects. And part of their cry is these projects are, there's nothing which has happened. So these are part of the problems that he's going to face in the Mount Kenya region. Those people that he gave a chance in his government, thinking or believing that would save him, the ground is also not accepting them. And, based on what has been happening on the ground, they've not tried to go to the ground to try listen to the people because the ground has consistently been hostile.
Yes.
So what I can say is that he has to plan himself, but he's a politician. Remember, he has PhDs in politics and he's perfectly. He can still maneuver depending on the kind of maybe narration that he'd go with over there.
Thank you so much. And this is bringing to me good. The president has always have they shall have the orator is a very good orator on how sometimes he delivers the messages and naming of the roads. And Makobura has talked about the Mau Mau and some of the projects that President Uhuru left. But the other day, there were days I was listening to Gadoni Wamushamba was talking about the money that was allocated there were reallocated elsewhere. So now you're coming to launch this. Are these projects that are going to be launched, are they new projects, or they're just the projects that were supposed to be going, were supposed to be are already been launched, and the constructors were supposed to be on site, or what? So that is also something that people are going to. And now we have governors, especially like when you look at the governor, because I know he will start with Kiambu, and you look at Kiambu, Wamatangi has not been so much frequent with the president. They've differed, especially when it comes to the affordable housing on a certain piece of land whereby the president wanted to construct affordable housing, and that's something that they've differed with. Do you see president going without inviting maybe those governors who might be having different opinion with him, or those who are not aligned to him, Mr. Miguda?
First, you talked about the people whom are going to be met into the Mount Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why you have seen some leaders in the region trying to ask questions like, are these new projects or are these projects that stall? It's because the leadership in the Mount region is trying to inform the audience that whenever you come to this region, you are already informed that he is used to lies, he is used to promising projects which he cannot fulfill, and is used to telling people those scripts. Those are similar scripts he's using across the country.
Mm-hmm.
In my view, the only difference is, or the challenge is, Mr. President, even though you say that he's an orator or a PhD politician, whatever he is, it doesn't matter. The audience is going to receive next month are already informed audience. They are informed, and it's up to them to deal with him, because he understand how to read the mood of the audience as a politician.
Yeah.
The projects is going to, most of the projects are stall projects in Mount Kenya region. And these stall projects is going to bring a narrative like he's the one who has come with salvation to save the situation, because you had the CS for National Treasury, Planning and Economic, stated in the JKL that they are going to pay contractors next month. So from next month, the contractors will be back to the site. It means that it is all planned, all strategic plan from them, that once the contractors are back into the site, the president will move to Mount Kenya and will be working the way our viewers say there, evidence for Karatas. He will be having evidence for Karatas that I'm here and these are the contractors, they are back on the road. So it was all projected from the strategy and from the cabinet. Then he talked about the leadership in the region, people like the governors who are trying to resist or who are trying to give the audience alternative views. They have read the mood, and some of them want to be re-elected. For you to be re-elected right now, you have to differ with the status quo, and you have to give the people alternative view of the policies of the government. That is why in that leadership structure, people like Wamatangi, they have been neutral. You cannot predict them where they are, because they want to understand the voters before the forthcoming election. I think that could be the difference between the Mount Kenya audience and other people in the country.
Okay. Thank you so much. And Makobura, you've seen yesterday, the other day, I was seeing the former women rep for is it Kirinyaga, Honorable Ngirishi, was talking about the SHA is not working. She talked about the dam that was in Mwea that was supposed to be constructed by the president. That dam, it was talking about the dikes are not yet completed, and these are some of the things that she was putting forward. Like the president has to come and answer these questions? How will President handle those based to the fact that there are so many promises that, especially that President made for people from Mount Kenya, forgetting about the appointments that were given to them, yeah, but so many promises during the campaigns, and how is he going to answer these questions? Yeah.
Okay. What I know is that the government has set quite some amount of money.
There's echo coming from your side. I don't know what's happening. Can you check within you?
Okay.
You're muted.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Is it now okay?
Yeah, it's okay. There's no echo now.
Yeah, so what I can say is that I know there's quite a lot of money that has been set aside that the president would use as he goes to the Mount Kenya region. Part of that is
for mobilizing or for the projects?
Of course, partly mobilizing and also the projects.
But the projects are budgeted for.
Yeah, I'm coming to that. To that. First, there's money that has been put aside to try bribe the people so that at least they can listen. And it's not going to be easy, because if you can remember, there's a good number of members of parliament from the Mount Kenya region who are not supporting the president, but they're having a different view of how the government is being run, and also based on the impeachment of the former deputy president, they're having a stand that the president has not respected them. But of course, there's also some few, they are not really few, there's also a good number that is supporting the president. Of course, led by the majority leader, that is Honorable Kimani Ichung'wah. And you also know the likes of Honorable Kimani Ichung'wah, they are mobilizers, the likes of Ruku, that is the member of parliament coming from, is it Tharaka or Meru? So he has a good number of mobilizers, of course, within the Mount Kenya region. But more of the conversation that he has to have is how he's going to complete the stalled projects. And of course, as much as all these are being budgeted for and it is not done on that specific day, you understand that the president and also the Kenya Kwanza is the majority, and so they have a say when it comes to budget and monies which are being given to different institutions or constituencies or projects. So more of what is going to come with is that we are planning, and this is what we are going to set aside for this specific project, and that can be confirmed by the majority leader who is here. Such kind of conversations, the same way he has always had spoken when he's trying to convince the people. But again, it would also depend on you might see a possibility of him we've seen, this is not the first time, we've always seen that people are being hired to just pretend that they're working on a certain project, and then after some time they disappear. Such kind of things might also play, because what he wants, of course, is to convince the people that more of all those things that he promised he's going to work on. But again, what I also know he'll do is he'll try come up with several projects. Remember, this is a gentleman who understands and knows every area and by their name and every cultural and everything that happens in that area. So I'm quite sure that he'll still go to, for example, any constituency and tell them that in this constituency, I know there is water catchment areas, there are forests, and this is how we want to, such kind of conversations. What I know, and I can tell you, William Samoei Ruto cannot, in any event, even if he was sleeping and then you wake him up, you tell him, can you tell these people something? Automatically, he will always have something to say.
Yeah.
And being that he's been in politics and he's been in the mountain Kenya region. He understands those people. He understands their demands. He understands what they want. He knows their heart when it comes to political needs. So automatically he will try to atawaingiza tu box na utaona kama watu wamenyamaza. But of course you'll also see people coming out to echo him. That is very normal. You'll also see people coming out to try block him from delivering his speeches. Such kind of things are the ones that we're going to see in his planned tour to the Mount Kenya region.
Okay, thank you. And Miguda, there are people who believe that the popularity of Rigathi Gachagua is not going to stay until 2027. It's for a moment. And by president now starting to gain that access, today he will go today, maybe he will not get that 100% reception, but he might get even 10%. And that 10% might be a positive towards his side, because now I can gain access. Then that one will give him the courage now to keep on coming until everybody is brought on board. And that one will make former deputy president Rigathi Gachagua to lose relevancy in the area. Do you think that one is possible?
That is a daydream. Anybody who's dreaming that Mr. President is going to chase Rigathi Gachagua out of mountain, that person should go and seek medical attention. And maybe that person, I don't understand which world he's living. I can state here without any fear of contradiction that Mount Kenya people cannot vote for William Ruto. We have been in this game, and you understand the time Uhuru Kenyatta supported Raila. Raila used to get massive crowds, even in Nyeri, Nyahururu, Nyandarua. But when it comes to voting, that is how we will know them. Because we used to even do our opinion poll with them that even Marco Bura used to ask Marco Bura, where you are residing, are Kikus going to vote for Raila? Marco Bura told me, nowadays they have changed. They are going to give Baba. But after the result, did you see how they behaved? So I can just tell Mr. President, maybe he's still having some hangovers of Mount Kenya, but he's not going to get it the way he thinks. You know, if you are in top leadership, you can't understand what is going on in the ground. Even when you are being advised, you can't understand because power has gotten into your head. The fact that he's going to receive massive crowd, or even that, those are not voters. Even Baba used to receive those crowds in Mount Kenya, but they never turned to voters. And also numbers never lied. And there's something we find in the politics. Once a person has made a decision that in 2027, I'm going to vote for anything, provided that there's anyone apart from William Ruto, that one cannot change. And numbers are there. And those numbers, they are not going to go for William Ruto. Because they are Kenyans, so as a president, is the president of the Republic of Kenya, he must also visit all parts of the country. But something, maybe you can mobilize. You have heard what my co-panelists have said. He has said that they are going to mobilize, they are going to give youth money. But that mobilization and that money does not translate into vote.
Yeah.
I remember there was a time when Ruto came to Nyanza. I was in Nyanza by that time. The taxi guys were given money, and Ruto was allowed to access the venue, but it never turned to vote. That's a sure bet. And we have said, yeah, there's no way that the entire country will vote for William Ruto. That one can take to the bank. There's no way. If the Mount Kenya are going to vote for him, the Luo nation will not vote for him. But if the Luo nation are going to vote for him, the Mount Kenya are not going to vote for him. He cannot sweep the entire country that all the people of Kenya must vote for William Ruto. That one I can assure him that even he's making any visit, but Rigathi Gachagua is still popular, and it's not going to beat Rigathi Gachagua in popularity in Mount Kenya, because remember, after he has gone to Mount Kenya for maybe, I think, 7 days, then he will disappear. But Rigathi Gachagua is consistent in Mount Kenya. It's not even making any route outside Mount Kenya.
No, he cannot.
They will do.
But Biguda, if you look at 2022, between 2018 and 2022, every weekend the president used to be in the mountain and attending churches. What is barring him from doing that this time round, if that accessibility is there?
you have just confirmed what I've said, that he is not going to chase out Rigathi Gachagua from the mountain. That's what I'm saying. Even if he goes there, like even the whole year, he will not chase Rigathi Gachagua. Because if at all he's very confident, he
Yeah.
could be going to Mount Kenya. Why has he decided to select certain days to visit Mount Kenya? These things used to happen during the time when the Luo Nation and the Luya Nation rebelled against the regime of Uhuru Kenyatta. It used to take time, then he's going to Western region maybe for 5 days, or Nyanza, 3 days. That thing has now turned back to Mount Kenya. They used to go to Mount Kenya frequently. If you have seen them now diverting what used to happen to Nyanza and Western to Mount Kenya, it means now the Mount Kenya is gone. And there is this issue. People, I don't know what people forget. You know, by the time when Ruto left Raila in 2000, after 2007 elections, towards 2013, when Ruto left Raila, Luo Nation, they said that Ruto has gone with one vote. That Ruto is not going to affect anything because Raila was viewed as a face of change, as a reformist, as a Democrat. Now, even the audience from the Rift Valley are also Democrat, reformists, and they are going to elect Raila come 2013. My friend, people were shocked when the entire Rift Valley voted for Uhuru Kenyatta. The same lesson William will never learn is going to happen for 2027. He's not going to get massive vote in Mount Kenya because people feel that because he has now left, but the people who voted for him can also vote for him the next time. It will not happen. Those betrayals have happened, and we are victims. That is why we are very confident that he is going to get votes in Nyanza. That's a fact.
Mhm.
He's going to get votes in Western, it's part of it, and also he's going to get votes in Rift Valley, and also the ODM people in Nairobi are also going to assist to get some votes in Nairobi and also to cool the temperature during demonstration and other things.
Yeah.
But in Mount Kenya, the Mount Kenya is not currently the constituents for the Mr. President. Mount Kenya right now, they are yet to decide on the candidate whom they are going to vote for. But if William Ruto will not get the massive vote he got in the previous election.
Okay, thank you so much.
Just-
And Marco Buda,
just-
what do you take, as you come in, what do you take about how the president usually have like roadside declaration, whereby he visit a place and say, okay, I've seen this is what is going to happen. I'm making sure that this is will happen. Like what happened in Nairobi about the chapati machine that it was supposed to be given to the students of Nairobi. I don't know whether that machine has come or I don't know. I am still so such like the road, not even road declaration. We call them sunroof declaration of the president. You know, how is it?
zinaitwa stori za jaba.
Oh, kwa Kiswahili tunazita stories za jaba.
Yeah, so na ujue
Akienda hii Mount Kenya hii ambao anaenda kufanya ziara, stories za jaba zake zitakuwa ni gani? Kwa sababu labda nadhani kila kitu shaambia watu wa mlima.
na ujue mambo ya jaba ilitoka Mount Kenya.
Eh.
Jaba zote zinatoka Mount Kenya, so they fully understand when someone is telling them stories which are not adding up. Today I was with a friend of mine who is also from Mount Kenya region.
Yeah.
He is salaried, and he was telling me that he has never had any problem with the Ruto, but the only problem Ruto alimguza tu mahali moja na lazima atalipisha. Kuguza payslip yake, that is the most painful thing to him, and he kept telling me that I've never had any problems with the president, but he you know. So such kind of conversations they're going on, and people with payslips are very bitter about the move by the government to just start deducting money from their payslips.
Yeah, okay.
And I've been telling you this. For example, if someone was able to qualify for a loan of 1 million before the Shisha, and after the introduction of Shisha, someone who was able to qualify for a loan of 1 million, they can only qualify for a loan of 600. So you can imagine how the Shisha has really affected the payslip and also the third rule and the loan calculation. In short, people are saying that the economy is not doing well. And again, prices of commodities are gone up. Instead of the government trying to solve that, to bring these prices down, they're still bado wanang'ang'ana wanaingia kwa payslip ya watu. And this is part of bitterness that is in there. In Kenyans, those who are having those who are being paid, getting their salaries. It is going to be tough for the president to maneuver not just Mount Kenya as we are talking about right now, but in the entire region, in the entire Republic of Kenya. 2007, as much as he's had dalliance with the former premier, it's not going to be easy, because if you can see what is happening in the country, like what happened, for example, in Naivasha or in Nyayo, this is the first time that citizens would come out and start singing and making slogans against a ruling president. That is something that we need to have a look at, because for a citizen to get to that point, then it means that things are not working. For citizens to come out and criticize their president, someone that they elected, it means a lot, and that should, of course, send signals to whoever or those people who are concerned that it is not easy. The people of Kenya are not finding it easy, and again, the ground is not well or okay.
Okay, thank you so much. And let's if I bring you back to 2002, one thing that we have to agree, the campaigns of 2022 was more or less about issues based on how every faction, especially the Azimio and the Kenya Kwanza, their campaign were more or less of issues, issue based on how Kenya can be liberated. But along the way, I don't know, it happened. I don't know what happened. And, one thing that I usually say, give it to credit, especially for president. President was able to create a tribe that was not existing in Kenya. And this was a hustler tribe. And you come to realize that hustler tribe was including everybody, including like each and every tribe, because he was talking of Mama Mboga. When you look at Mama Mboga has already the border and all that, and this narrative that the president used at least propel him to become the president. Another issue that president used was also the issue of churches, by going and building the churches, which the president has promised that he will continue building the churches because he's a builder. Umesikia hiyo? So wale ambao wanasema president usitengeneze kanisa ama usipatiane pesa, hiyo mtasubiri. Yeah? Alisema ataendelea kujenga makanisa kwa sababu ni mjenzi wa kanisa, unaona? And that was his politics. But now we are seeing the change in politics, whereby now the Right Honorable Prime Minister, they are now working together. In your own understanding, maybe Makobura and Meguda, for how long will the president continue conceding to the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga?
I think so long as things are not stable politically in the Republic of Kenya, as we are seeing, he's going to listen to him, he's going to respect him, he's going to aid to his demands. We've seen that. If you saw the sitting arrangement that was there yesterday, remember, according to my thinking, Prime Cabinet Secretary, as they call him in quotes, is more powerful.
Non-existent office.
Yeah, is more powerful than Raila Amolo Odinga. But if you saw the sitting arrangement, it was the president, Raila Amolo Odinga, and then the cabinet secretary. What does that tell you? It tells you that he's being recognized and that his political base has been welcomed by the president, and his political support has also been welcomed. And part of that prestigious or luxurious, treatments that he's getting is getting courtesy of, what he's bringing on the table. I am quite sure that the president knows how difficult, he's at a difficult point. He's at a point where naweza sema kwa mahali mambo si kuzuri. Mambo yanaweza haribika wakati yoyote. Na he has to stand with him. I mean, he has to respect Raila so that he can get, umewahi ona nyumba ile wakati kuna floods, alafu sasa wameweka kijiti do I say kijiti, like a big nini katikati.
Tunaweza ita
Kinaitwa
kisingi tu kimoja labda kimewekwa hivi kushikilia.
Yeah, so that is the point where we are politically for the president is at that particular point. And that is why he has no alternative but just to admit and to do as per, whatever Raila wants. And that is why he's being treated as a deputy, not really as a deputy, he's being treated as a co-president.
Or maybe has been given the privileges to enjoy the power around the executive. That could be.
Yes, that is what I can say. And of course, an explanation of that is because of how the political environment is hostile for the president. He can't survive politically. He knows he can't survive without him, and that's why you saw it is difficult if you remember who the president is and the comments and the stance he's ever had in politics. William Samoei Ruto is a gentleman whom, when he says no, it is a no. But for the first time, he said no, but he had no option. And to just divert and come back and say yes, he promised the people of Kenya not once, and even the tone that he used while he was telling the people of Kenya how serious he is with the issue of a handshake and how he cannot support, because according to him and the people around him, handshake was all about political leaders or leaders. Him, he knew he can do, and he has the capacity to run the country without the help of anyone. The same comments were echoed by the former president Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. He said walikuwa nafikiria wana uwezo wa kuendesha serikali, lakini sasa wanauliza, wanatafuta usaidizi. So it is not easy. It is something that is there. And that's my take.
Okay, thank you so much. And I want to bring in Mr. Miguda, because if you read the Standard today was talking about the issue of majority and even on how NIS had to advise the president to bring Raila closer, especially matters concerning the majority in the parliament, and Miguda, this is for you because you can help us to understand what the law says and based on the ruling. Moses Wetangula, when you had his ruling about the majority, he has did it now like twice. The first, when the parliament was taking initial stages, when the parliament was opening, whereby he declared the Kenya Kwanza to be the majority, and which was not the case. And again, when the court made ruling, he made again another ruling that what has been said on the parliament by the speaker is final. But now, as he was making that ruling, he went and appealed to the Court of Appeal to appeal the decision by the High Court, but it was rejected. And right now, the ruling stands, and you're looking at how the things are. Like if you look at Moses Wetangula, he's walking on a very tight rope, because there are court orders that have been given, and one of the things, maybe you'll answer that. Let me just make it long and say that the majority in the parliament is determined during the voting by the Kenyan people. When you vote, which part do you vote for? And now here is Moses Wetangula, and we are also seeing a situation whereby President William Ruto is conceding too much to the Right Honorable Prime Minister. Just in case, if Prime Minister say, okay, I want the position of the Speaker, do you think President will give it?
Right now, Mr. President is giving in too much to former Prime Minister, but is also very sensitive. She's like a girl who is giving in, but very sensitive on the way forward. He tried to avoid discussion of the majority leader. is trying to avoid discussion of the speaker. He also tried to avoid the discussion of the internal security, internal CS for internal security. You know, we had a long time before appointing internal CS, but let us bring in his close ally, that docket. He is fearing to lose those seats like internal security, the speaker, and the majority leader because of some reasons. But the NIS advice could be good for him.
Yeah.
Because politics, there is no permanent friend and enemy. And politics, anything is possible. It's a game of possibilities. And whenever you get an opportunity to deal with your opponent, deal with that opponent and make sure that you deal with him ruthlessly and you finish him totally the way Ruto did to Rigathi Gachagua. The issue of impeachment can come in because right now we understand that there is a rebellion from some of the Mount Kenyan MP in the UDA. If ODM can initiate impeachment of Ruto, it means that he can be impeached very early in the morning. That is why he's trying to avoid the impeachment process and to surrender seats like majority leader and to surrender seats like the speaker. The appeal was rejected from the Court of Appeal by the speaker because they believe that the original jurisdiction lies with the High Court. And once the High Court has pronounced itself categorically, it means now that the Azimio remains the majority and Kenya Kwanza is the minority into the parliament. And the speaker also should understand that the decision was made on the constitution of Kenya, and it dictates that the speaker should be impartial, the speaker should be non-partisan, the speaker should be neutral. So whenever is not either of the three, it means now is acting contrary to the provision of the law. That is why the speaker need to respect the decision of the High Court and act by one. He should cease being the party leader of Fort Kenya so that he can become a neutral speaker in that house. He should cease being the party leader. At the same time, he should also allow the Azimio to take the majority, because even you saw what happened in the Budget and Appropriation Committee chair. It was surrendered to ODM. The Lagos Songa Member of Parliament is the current chair for budget. Why is it that they are not being given majority? It means that there is a card which is being played in politics, and it is good for president if at all they want to serve. But if at all he can surrender some sensitive dockets to the opposition, tomorrow opposition might declare somebody president. Back to you, Makubura.
Okay, you've spoken about the Kenya Kwanza giving some positions to the to the Azimio, like the budget committee being headed by someone from Azimio. My question to you would be, with the pronouncement of the court that the majority, of course, still should be given to the Azimio. And again, remember there is a good, cordial, there's a union between the Kenya Kwanza and the Azimio. With this relationship that they have, the good working relationship that they have, must they still be given the majority positions as per what the constitution dictates, or this is something that they can sort behind the scenes and let Kenya Kwanza continue being the majority? Because remember, of course, the constitution gives some privileges to the majority party, and of course the Kenya Kwanza needs that, since they are in government, to allow them have an easy way to perform their duties as the party that is in power. What is your take on that, maybe? Are you there?
Okay, I'm there. I just wanted to say, I want to be very brief. The decision stand from the High Court. The decision stand and it's valid that the Azimio is the majority and Keke is the minority. It doesn't matter what type of relationship you have with the political parties. We are operating under a constitutional democracy. What is lawful, not what's unlawful. Lawfully, it belongs to them, and it should be that way. Remember, there was a time in the United States of America, in the Congress, where the president from Republican, but the Democrats were the majority. But there was no any issue with transacting the business of the House. They transact it effectively until the time comes to an end. It doesn't matter whether the majority does not form the part of the executive. That is why I believe that it should be the way it was pronounced by the court. The decision stands and is very lawful.
Okay, thank you. Allow me to recognize the presence of our viewers. At Sebandwari, thank you so much. Judith Karita, and everyone who just engaged us at the comment section. I want to take this opportunity to say a big thank you for taking your time to join us and to also engage us. I know we don't take it for granted. We really appreciate. If you're new to this channel, this is Brother Benson Media, and here we say that your opinion counts. You can just support us by liking or subscribing. Mr. Miguel, I'll give you a chance to give your last remarks before we close.
First, I would like to also appreciate our viewers for tuning in for the Brother Benson Media, and here we said your opinion counts. And also, I would like to state that the next month visit by Mr. President Mount Kenya, it's not going to be a walk in the park, and also we just wish him all the best. And they should also ensure that there is peaceful rally, and it should be peaceful. No one should be armed, no property should be destroyed, and we should also allow tolerance. Even though we disagree with him in opinion as the Mount Kenya people, but we should tolerate, we should